Hello everyone, welcome to the Loot Drop YouTube channel. Today we are here with Danny, who is going to be showing us his second place Generaider deck profile. How did you find the deck today?
It is so much fun to play. My matchups were hard. Against Drytron was a lot of struggle just trying to play through all of their answers to my board,
yeah,
specifically Lava Golem. But overall, Labyrinth was a struggle. It was literally, can I out the back row? But I'll introduce to the deck profile.
Right.
So we're running triple Locktier Shadow of the Generaider bosses.
If you want to flip it this way so we can read it.
Oh, that way, yeah.
Yeah.
So Locktier is the starter for the deck, the main starter. And he tributes himself or a fairy or a generator card to special summon any of the massive level 9 generators from the deck.
Lovely.
He's also like the only normal summon in the deck, really.
Do you have any ways of searching him, or do you just have to hard draw him?
No, you have to hard draw him. Or you summon him off of boss stage in your opponent's turn.
Oh, okay.
But he only does his quick effect in the main phase.
So does this just make your end board a little bit better, or do you need to see that to be able to play?
With the way the deck is now, you don't have to see him. He just allows you to, in your opponent's turn, tribute a generator token or himself if you are under skill drain or or if someone tries to imperm you. Most of the time I use him to go into Ha, who's the Omni Negate of the deck.
Nice.
But then we're running 3 copies of Vala, Sadir of the Generator bosses.
So this is one of the new ones?
Yeah, she's the one in Photon Hypernova. She's also a starter in the deck as a free of. She's probably one of the best cards the deck has had as support.
Okay.
Because she allows you to, whether she's in grave or hand, discard a generator card, so it can be monster, spell, trap, from your hand, special summon her, and then she has the special summon effect of special summoning a generator from your hand or grave, which gives you a lot of cycling. Hela does a similar thing, but she's a lot better because you can cycle a lot more with the generators.
Okay.
She's better than Locktier, really, in the way that they work, because she can get her and Monstrosity is like a 2-card combo.
Nice.
Then we are running 2 copies of Ha, who's probably the best big generic level 9 in the deck. For starters, he's a hand rip, so when your opponent adds a card to their hand, similar to Droll, he makes them send a monster from field or hand to the grave.
Okay.
The only thing he suffers from is if they have like graveyard effects like Tyr or Drytron. He also has tribute to generator cards and Omni Negate whatever you are trying to negate.
So you just tribute the boss stage tokens, right?
Yes, or if your opponent is playing like in-chain multiple like targeted cards and you can only negate one, you tribute the other targets.
Okay.
But he's probably the best big monster in the deck. Then we run 2 copies of Hela, debating about dropping to 1 just because of the Vala, but she just doubles as more graveyard recursion, tribute a generator or herself to special summon a generator from grave. It allows me to go like Hela, get back Ha if they've removed Ha and I haven't used the Omni yet, or get Vala, then trigger Vala, bring back Ha or any of the other generators in my opponent's turn.
Okay.
Then we are this is where it gets into the one-offs. We're running 1 of Mardell, who's just a searcher for any generator card. So she can search Locktier or Hela or Vala, or boss stage is the key one most of the time I use off her, or boss quest. Because without boss stage, the deck doesn't really perform. It can perform better now because of Vala, but boss stage is still needed.
Yeah. Then
we run 1 Utgarda, which is just a tribute to banish 1 of anything.
Is he just a castle?
Yeah, he has a face though.
Oh.
It's like at the top. It's like there. Actually has a face. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I see it. Yeah, it's like Knight's Head. Yeah. That's a very strange
Then we run 1 Nidhogg. Nidhogg is negating tribute 1 generator or worm, negate a special summon.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah, although most people, as soon as they read it, go, I'm going to normal summon and never special again. Then we run one Naglafar. He's probably the weakest generator in the deck, but he's very situational because he's pretty much board protection. So whenever a generator would be destroyed, he allows you to tribute a generator token or a beast warrior monster, and it means that the card that would have been destroyed is not.
Okay.
That's all he really does, other than being a 3100 beater. Frody is the funny one that I got to use today against Drytron, which was quite funny. Frody is tribute as many generator tokens or generator cards as you want, and then pop that many monsters from field.
That seems
So
pretty
he
good.
searchable board wipe on your opponent's turn, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, board wiping Drytron is generally very good.
Yes, yeah. The other one of, which is the last generator monster, is Divulgus. I am running him because the deck is so many level 9s that if my hand is all generator monsters, I can use boss stage to summon him in my opponent's turn, then tribute all 4 of my generator tokens that get summoned, and special summon 4 generators from hand. I have had that happen today, which was quite funny.
Nice.
Yeah. Then, I mean, the staple of the deck.
Boss stage.
Yep. The card is what makes the deck work. So when my opponent adds a card to their hand, including their first draw, you can special summon a generator from the deck. And then when a generator is special summoned, you can special summon as many tokens as you have space on the board.
Is that once per turn, the token summon?
The token summon is hard once per turn. The special summoning a generator from deck is soft. So if I have another way to get my opponent to draw a card and I have a different copy of boss stage on the board, I can then trigger it again, go and get another giant level 9 and continue.
I see.
Yeah. Then we run triple boss quest, which is similar to Divulgus and Vala. It's another way of making it so if I draw the giant level 9s, they don't brick. So this is reveal 1 generator card in hand, or monster in hand. Then I get to search for a combination of any spell or trap cards with different names that are generators. And if I do, I then shuffle the revealed monster to the bottom of the deck.
I see.
It's really good because you can bait Ash with it, because if you play it, you go, yeah, I'm going to search 2, and then they go, cool, Ash, you still get to keep the level 9 in hand, because it only shuffles back after you've searched.
For effect, yeah.
Yeah. It's not cost.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Then this might as well just be 3 more copies of boss stage, which is boss fight. It allows you to activate generator, the field spell pretty much from deck. It can be ashed because your opponent draws a card, unlike Metaverse, which I'm tempted to put in.
Metaverse can be ashed, because it has the option of adding it to your hand as well.
Oh, good point. Okay. Boss fight stays in there. So boss fight is pretty much another way of me getting to trigger boss stage, because
they draw a card and then you get to summon another one from deck, right?
Yeah, so say I had boss stage and then they drew their first card for turn, activate boss stage, special summon stuff. Say I special summon Ha, tribute 1 or 2 of the tokens, negate something, then I can activate boss fight, pop my own field spell, get another one, then they draw, then I can special summon again. Generator's weird with the whole, your opponent draws cards, like it comes across as giving them advantage, but most of the time it actually is in their downfall, because you can also trigger Ha's add to hand effect, so they have to pitch a monster off of it.
Yeah, well, you're pretty much negating every card they're drawing anyway.
Yeah, pretty much. The next one of last trap generator wise is Boss Room. This is when your opponent activates an effect in chain to a generator, you can activate this card to discard 1 card, and then you can turn their chained card's effect into just draw a card, which if you had boss stage in your turn will trigger boss stage. It's another good way of stopping board breakers and Ash Blossom and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, it's pretty much like Dark Bribe, isn't it?
Yeah, I did look at a version of this which has Dark Bribe. It's a weird one. But it's also searchable off of Mardell and Quest. And most of the time, Boss Quest is what I use to search that one.
Dark Bribe might be worth siding instead of Solemn Judgment, something like that.
Yeah, could be. Then the all-star of the deck, which I'm so glad I saw so much today, is World Legacy Monstrosity. This card is probably one of the most broken cards bar far in the deck. It can special summon a level 9, so it also means I don't brick if I draw it in a level 9. But if I have a level 9 on board, I can target the level 9 I have on board, and then special 2 level 9s from deck, which is normally, they can't attack and their effects are negated, I'm pretty sure. But most of the time I'm using them to overlay anyway, and it gets to some weird combo where you can get out Vala, and then you get out another one, you overlay them, you then detach Vala from the overlay, and then you can use Vala effect engrave, because normally when she's used her effect and is special summoned, she gets banished instead, but because you're overlaying, she completely loses all of that effect.
I see.
Yeah. It just leads to giant link nines, XYZ 9s.
Link 9s.
Yeah, link 9s.
Oh, you're really ahead of the game with Link 9s.
I wish. We get to a bit more generic stuff. We just run in triple Ash.
I mean, yeah, this format is pretty much mandatory.
Yeah. Ash is very good for the deck because I'm letting my opponent draw cards, and most of the time those draws are normally searchers or things that I can at least Ash.
Yeah.
The biggest staple, Terraforming, just another copy of Boss Stage, pretty much.
4 boss stages.
Yeah. In total, I think I have like 8 copies of it in the deck.
Nice.
Then we have one called by, just so I don't get ashed, because you can ash Boss Stage in the opponent can do it in their own turn.
Yep.
Then one Harpies. This is because Generator suffers a lot to back row.
Let's be honest, you're running it against Labyrinth.
Yes, yes I am. Yes, I am. It's mostly because I hate floodgates.
Yeah, well,
I had to mention it once.
That's a controversial opinion at this locals.
Then I'm only running 2 copies of Imperm. I could run a third, but Imperm's just like an extra good card if you have it in hand after because you can go boss stage, set Imperm, set boss fight, set whatever else. And then you can just get full board in your opponent's turn, and you can normally have like 2 or 3 negates.
Okay.
And then the last card, which is just been updated to 3, is Triple Lightning Storm.
In the main deck?
Yes, it's mostly because I was using Raigeki, and Raigeki is good because it's not once per turn, but in this situation I'm normally finding that Lightning Storm is better because I'm just wanting to either eliminate one or the other.
Yeah.
The front row or the back row, really. Most of the time it's the back row. Most of the time.
Yeah. Well, it's not that good against Kashtira, though.
It actually isn't
because they just summon them in defense.
Yeah.
Especially if they're Ibly locking you.
Yes. There are some outs to cash in here. Most of those are in the extra or the side, though, sadly.
Yeah. That's fair enough.
Cool. I'll show the extra deck. So, this is another new card. It's triple Levetian Generator Boss of Shadows, which is the upgraded version of Lopter. He is probably the most powerful generator card in existence because he only requires 2 level 9s, which the deck can quite easily get out. He then he has an on-field effect of everything your opponent has losing 1,000 attack and defense, the reverse of Lopter. Then he can quick effect tribute himself, so he can only really be negated by called by. That I found.
Which is a one-off, which isn't going to happen very often.
So far since I've played this deck, I have not been called by once.
I'm not surprised. There's not many that people that run it against Kashtira anyway. Yeah. Because they don't need the grave at all.
Yeah, and then what he does is he tributes himself, and then he will special summon Jormungandr from the deck, because it's the only other Generator XYZ monster that's not a fairy. And then this is like the out to everything. He gets to attach any 2 cards from either player's field or graveyard as material. So this can out Avra, it can out the Drytron, 4,000
non-target attach.
Non-target, just attach, turn into material.
That's pretty nasty.
Yeah, he can out Skill Drain, Mystic Mine, lots of weird stuff.
Very nice.
Yeah, he's too good for the deck, really. Then, of course, I'm running 3 copies of him just because of cash.
Yeah,
I don't want him gone, because he is also a really good out to cash, because you can instantly take Shangri-Era. Then I'm running 3 copies of Jormungandr, because Levetian instantly makes him. Jormungandr is just a really big payoff he turns into a massive beater because he gains 1,000 attack per material that's underneath him. And then quick effect each turn, both mine and my opponent's. He's a really good way to activate boss stage because he can detach one card from him. Me and my opponent both draw a card. Then we both attach a card from our hands or fields to him as material. So it gets really spooky where you can like the Agnister Arrival when he's the only thing on board and stuff like that.
So it's kind of like Dark World Dealings.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. So you can do that on your opponent's turn.
Yeah, it's a quick fix. So you can trigger so say you don't have boss fight, he's also a way to trigger boss stage in your own turn.
That's pretty great.
So you might as well read draw a card, special summon from deck.
Yeah.
Then we are running this where it gets into the fun stuff. Just the one copy of Zeus. The deck mostly relies on Levetian and Jormungandr, so only having one Zeus. I would run a second, but it rarely comes up, because after I've Levetianed into Jormund, there's not much of a board state left to blow up. And I don't really want to get rid of Jormund, because he normally ends up on like 7,000 attack.
I see.
So I'm just he's only like a desperate measure, really. And to be honest, most of the time Kashtira sees him and they go, oh yeah, I'll take the Zeus, and I'm like, that's fine.
That's why most people run two.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm only running one because I just want him to be a screaming thing of please pick me. Then I'm running one Infinitrack Earth Slicer. Earth Slicers are good. Just another board wipe, really. He's just another copy of Frody, detaching stuff and popping stuff. And he's into 3,100 attack. Probably the most evil generic XYZ monster in the deck is Phantom Fortress on block here. It's pretty much, I have always used him as a hand rep. So just detach one, banish one random card from your opponent's hand. But he can get around like non-target stuff because it's just your opponent just gets rid of it. I'm running two copies because of cash, of course. I would like three, but I only go into him if I have Monstrosity, because Monstrosity allows the full combo.
Okay.
Then we're running, this is mostly just because it's a generic big 9, is Mirror Logic Aggregator. There is a weird funny combo with it where you can go into Winder off of it which I don't want to do. But so you use his effect, then you end up going to find the trap, which then gets you into, and you ditch one from your extra because of him, to then use the trap to get Winder. It's not something I've looked into a ton, mostly because I don't want to. I'm trying to do pure generators, but he's also there because when he goes to grave, he negates
a card on the field.
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
Then running one copy of 9 Lives Cat, which is just another way of getting generators out of the grave. I rarely go into it, but it's just good if I need if I've gone through all my recursion, it's just another one. Then we run one Sacred Tree Beast, which is another form of negate, but I rarely seem to go into it. Because I have Har all the time, I rarely seem to find it, so it's a card that I'm looking to go, do I take it out for another block here, or any other generic giant XYZ? I'm thinking of running a Dyson Sphere, because that will be hilariously stupid.
That seems funny.
And then this is the only tech card really in the extra deck, which is 2 Linkaribos, which is mostly because Ibli exists and my deck cannot link summon other than this.
Well, exactly.
And then I'm only running 2 copies because cash. I was tempted to run free, just in case, because I don't want to be outed by that card.
Well, you only need 3 if you actually hand trap the unicorn, and they hand trap you on their turn.
Yeah, pretty much. It's also because I have played a couple games against Dogmatica recently, and that loves to just shove extra deck into grave. I think Ibli in that would work really well though in Dogmatica.
Probably. It depends if they can get out or not. I guess like Ecclesia can special summon herself.
Yeah, true.
And then it's probably just fine.
Yeah, it might have something there. And then the side deck, I'm running 2 Condemn Witches, and then 1 Droplet. Condemn Witch, when normal summoned, can search a forbidden card, which of course is Droplet. I was looking at Chalice and Lance. Chalice is quite what I was looking at first, to just be another negate quick play. The other fun thing about Condemned Witch is in your opponent's main phase, she can tribute herself and go and find a fairy from the deck. So she finds Lopter. And then Loptir contribute the token or trigger boss stage. Yeah. Before I put in the ashes, I was running triple Condemn Witch, triple Chalice.
I see.
But now I'm going with Droplet, because Droplet's really good, because it means that, like, if my opponent kaijus me, I can out the kaijus and negate whatever they're going to do. Because this deck has quite a big weakness to, like, Lava Golem and kaijus.
Yeah.
Because there's no way for me to negate them.
What about spell and trap removal on the boss stage?
Well, the boss stage, if the boss stage gets removed, it's not too bad, because Vala can activate in Grave, so I can full combo, get Mardell back from Grave, go find another boss stage, or I can find boss fight, and boss fight can bring it back from Grave or deck.
Yeah.
So as long as I can keep boss stage, we're good most of the time, but I have played without it and had it full combo.
I see the Nibiru, show us the cash counters.
So, we're running triple Nibiru. This is more of like, just consistent deck counters. So like Tri-Brigade, stuff like that, where if my opponent is playing a thing that's where it's so consistent that me ashing them doesn't work, I can put Nib in to just go, nah, there is no board now. And the fun thing is I can normally get rid of the rock quite easily. And Nibiru's Ninjas as well, because the castle that tributes to and banishes contribute to generators or rocks. So it can tribute Nibiru to banish anything scarier than the token.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Then we're running triple Droll. This is also to stop consistency decks, really, like Tri and Cash and stuff. The scary thing with Droll and Generator is that you can activate boss fight, get them to draw a card,
and then immediately
draw.
That's actually so brilliant.
Yeah, so you literally go, you have 7 cards in hand, play with those 7.
Have you thought about running Trickstar Reincarnation?
No.
Banish your opponent's entire hand. You proc Droll on your own. You can banish your opponent's entire hand on their draw phase.
You're giving me scary ideas. I should run it. I should look into it. I should look into it. I haven't seen this card, but I should look into it. Then this is where it gets weird. 1 Evenly, 2 Raigeki.
Okay.
This is mostly because I don't own 3 copies of Evenly.
Oh yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah.
But this is genuine hate for back row, pretty much, and Cash.
I mean, you're maining Lightning Storm, so we can see that you really don't like it. So.
Yeah. So as soon as I get into a state where it's like I need a board wipe or like the board wipe or nothing, I side in all 3 evenly matched when I have them.
Yeah.
And it outs Cash, which is lovely because it gets around Shangri-Era. Then the last card, which is probably the funniest one, just because we love Cash, is Triple Book of Eclipse. Of course.
I mean, everyone's running. Anyone their mum's running this in the bureau.
So I'm genuinely thinking of taking this out. I don't know what I would put in. Maybe more different forbidden targets. But I'm genuinely thinking of taking out because the Cash matchup that I have seen played with as Generator with this, I haven't really needed it.
Yeah.
Like being able to stop them with hard. Like I've been able to out Shangri-Era without needing Book of Eclipse or even evenly matched, because you can, depending on how many zones they lock. I've had it where they've locked 4, and what you can do is, in that instance, I Raigeti'd to take the material off of Shangri-Era, who only had 1. Then I normal summon Loptir, use Loptir, special summon Frody from deck, use Frody, tribute Frody to pop the Shangri-Era, and then that clears the whole board at that point. Yeah. And
if you don't need Eclipse, you could also run something else. Maybe you could run like some more going first cards or something.
Yeah, the problem is that Generators, like, your going first stuff is mostly setup. Like, it is just like Levetian, Har, any other generic rank 9, and then you pass.
Okay.
And then you literally go, can you play through this?
How hard do you actually lose to Ash, though?
Not actually that. It depends on my hand. Like, if my hand is awful, like truly awful, like it has to be 5 cards that are dead, really, to lose to Ash. Like you can Ash boss stage, but I can either get another one or use Vala.
I was going to say, because if you really lost to Ash, you could literally just put like Cross out for going first.
Yeah, I could put in Cross out.
No,
yeah, Cross out's pretty good because my side can then just become like one-offs that I can just target from deck with Cross out.
Yeah,
it's interesting. I feel like I need to buy 3 Cross out now.
Well, I've got a few in my binder. Sort something out after this.
Maybe. But But yeah, that's the full deck profile.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. Like, I played Valence before, which is like the reverse of this, because you're doing like a 20 card combo, moving everything sideways.
Yeah.
This some games I have won by just going boss stage past. Like, the amount of people who go.
That's how the deck be.
Yeah.
It's like summon Sarah Paul.
Yes, it is. Yeah. God, it is. Yeah. The scary thing is, I had a game today against Drytron where they summoned is it Chaos Max Wizard who stops all monster effects?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's some ritual Dark Magician monster that stops all monster effects on my turn. So I was like, okay, I'll just set 4 pass and activate boss stage. And then in his turn, just activate boss stage, special summon everything.
That's pretty broken.
But yeah, that was my only loss today, was Drytron.
Fair enough. Well, thank you very much for the deck profile.
Cheers.
We'll see you guys next time.